paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Could none whoop him.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And offered $10 to anyone who can kick my son's butt.
Yep.
Even if you are a complete layman in boxing, all the way to being a pro fighter, and let's say somewhere in the middle is people who appreciate the sport of boxing, the sweet science of boxing, there's one thing that everybody in the spectrum can agree on, and is that if you watch that Terrance Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight, you were in for a special treat. Not only was it perfection in motion, what we were watching, but we were watching mid-30-ish guys to Terrance Crawford, I believe is 37 years old, do things that you would only see young cats doing at a level after gaining weight and being able to maintain that for a full fight. It was absolutely insane. We can all agree right there. And post-fight, there's been a couple of stories that have matured. One of those stories being the finances involved, right? Canelo Alvarez has been rumored of making between $100 million and $150 million, whereas Terrance Crawford, and he admitted this in one of his interviews, he walked away with $10 million. And there's a difference there, and the difference is that while Terrance Crawford is the better boxing product because he won, Canelo Alvarez was the better brand, right? And this speaks to a lot within our lives, right? You can be the best at something, but if you do not brand yourself correctly, right? You don't have the appropriate connections, you're not networking, right? You're not getting your name out there appropriately. Although you may not be the better product, you still may get the better results. Nevertheless, that's not what I wanted to go off in the confines of this video, but I think it's a life lesson within that. What I wanted to go over is the other reason that Terrance Crawford has been going viral, and that is specific to the relationship that he has with his parents, and more specifically, the relationship with his mother. Terrance Crawford's story is the typical Black American dad story, in it being that he was raised by a single mother. His father was out of the household. I believe his father was traveling for military purposes. I believe he was in the Navy, but his father was at one point involved in boxing. But he was raised in the Midwest, and his mom had a history of boxing within her family as well. While his father was very positive in regards to Terrance being a prospect one day, his mother was literally the opposite. In the ways that she did it or mothered him is receiving a lot of controversy. And because we talk about family dynamics on this channel, I think that it is more than appropriate for us to review. Let's get active on this one. Without further ado.
Home to me is home. I think that's where all the pain came from. When I go down to the neighborhoods that I grew up in, that just remind me and reflect back off where I came from.
3169 Larimore Street. Take me back to your block.
And that's where it all started at. Me going in the street, putting on the gloves, me fighting in the alleys. Just a typical bad kid running the neighborhood.
What did you say when he was born?
I remember he came out with his hands balled up. Son, the son I wanted. His dad said we got $1 million baby boy.
My dad used to tell my mom I was gonna be a world champ.
I told him he wouldn't be
Terrance's father, your husband, shipped out. So now you're here with 3 kids.
Hold on. It's funny, but it's not funny. Your dad talking you up, but your mom saying you ain't gonna be shit?
Like for you.
If Bud was around the corner fight, somebody gonna come and tell me. I'll go around and get him, snatch him up, and bring him home.
And
he know what time it was.
he got whooping.
He sure did.
What kind of whooping?
An ass whooping with a belt.
Tell me about Deborah and Terrance. It's a complicated relationship.
Man, you know, she has her own ways to motivate her son. She has her own way of loving her son. But they love each other, man. They're 2 peas in a pot together.
You kept telling him, "Are you never going to amount to anything?" Did you really believe it?
Some things that I said to him, I wanted him to be a man. And don't be afraid of nobody.
That's a hard lesson to learn. You're 12, 13.
Yeah, but he had to learn it.
How'd that make you feel?
It filled me with rage. And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to him.
How'd you think he'd do?
He did good because he was around here beating up everybody in the neighborhood. I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Canelo whoop him.
You went out on the street,
Yeah,
what's now Bud Crawford Street,
yeah.
and
The kids
offered
in the neighborhood.
$10 to anyone who can kick my son's
Yeah,
butt.
yep.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah,
no
the
one
kids
could
in
do
the
it.
neighborhood.
Yeah, they-
Couldn't nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
What came first, the mean or the talent?
I think the mean came first. When I first started boxing, I just could fight. I couldn't box. All my coaches was like, he got heart. He ain't scared of nothing, he can fight. That's when they started teaching me technique and the art of boxing.
A good deal of what you remember of your childhood was you getting whooped all the time by your mom.
And I was getting kicked out of school and doing bad things. I think getting whooped, that just made me immune to pain.
Explain that to me.
Well, I was always getting in trouble. So I was always getting a whooping for something. So at a point in time, it just became numb to me. Well, it ain't gonna hurt. It ain't nothing but a belt or something.
First time it hurt though.
Yeah, I was a little kid.
And at some point, the whooping stopped.
Yeah, I wasn't having all that.
He was 13 when he said, Mom, you're not gonna whoop me no more. He took the belt from me.
I grabbed the belt and told her, you ain't about to hit me no more. All that's out the window. I ain't getting whooped no more.
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
Did that change you?
No, I think I got more respect, you know, from my mom.
You once told me I was fighting for her approval, for her to tell me she was proud or happy, but she never would, so I stayed angry. Explain that to me.
Damn.
When she always telling you you're gonna lose, or you're not good enough, or you're gonna get your ass kicked, or things like that, it's like, okay. When I win this tournament, she gonna say congratulations, or good job, or I'm proud of you. But it never happened.
What he remembers is all those years wanting for you to say,
I love you.
yes.
She knew it.
Yep. Yes.
And you didn't do it.
Nope. I grew up not liking the word. Why? I don't know. Never liked the hugs growing up as a kid. I never liked nobody to kiss me growing up as a kid, and it just grew with me as I got older.
Whoa. Now, there's a couple of schools of thought that are coming for this. I would say that the majority of the audience is just like, you monster, right? About his mama. But what's clear is that it was effective. And I think if you would have a temperament in a young boy developing into a young man and then developing into a grown-ass man that was any different, any weaker than what is instinctual or hereditary to Terrance Bud Crawford, you would have gotten potentially a much different man.
You a bitch.
There is stuff.
You a bitch. See, you a big emotional week.
It'd been good if Terrance connected with that with no gloves on.
Wow. Man, you gotta calm down, brother.
Got shot in the head, drove himself to the hospital.
Boom. That happened so fast, you know. I got hit with the first shot in the back of my head.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And offered $10 to anyone who can kick my son's butt.
Yep.
His shoes not even tied up.
Hey, I'll beat you without shoes.
A good deal of what you remember in your childhood was you getting whooped all the time by your mom.
I think getting whooped, that just made me immune to pain.
Many men, most men, not having a father at home and having a mother that not only would beat the shit out of you, but would also pay people $10, like your own mama is betting on you to lose, to whoop his ass. And then the mother knowing that all that Terrance wants is for you to just say, I love you, right? Or have a good fight, and she would never give it to him, right? It's like she is strategically dangling a piece of cheese in front of a rat in order to get him to run. But she has the temperament to do this, essentially also being his emotional trainer, if you want to say something like that, because, and side note, I think anybody who professionally fights at this level, especially in the UFC, baby, something not wrapped too tight. For the type of money that these people fight for, to sacrifice their cognitive ability through CTE or their ligaments, their tendons, something is a little bit off. But anyway, due to her own emotional issues, helped push Bud to be who he is today. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it, but we can't argue its effectiveness specific to Bud.
She hated that word. She said love is pain. Her support was in a different type of way, you know, it was in a negative way, but when I got older, I noticed that it was her negative way that pushed me to be great.
You still trying to prove something to your mom?
No, I think I already did all that. I proved stuff to myself now.
You're a father to 5. You never miss a game, an appointment, any of that, even when you're here in camp. Why?
That's my responsibility, is to be there as their father. You can't get those moments back.
Why do you think being a father is so important?
Because his dad wasn't around like he's around his kids.
When my child
Breaking the
grow
cycle.
up, they gonna always remember, yeah, dad was always in training camp. Dad was always on the road with boxing and the events, but dad ain't never missed no birthday. Dad ain't never missed anything important. Dad was always there. And that's what they're gonna always remember.
Your mom ever tell you what a good father you are?
Yeah, she said it before. Yeah, she said, Bud, a great dad. Now I always check, I say I'm a great father. It's the difference.
Would you be Terrance Crawford, the champion we know, if it weren't for that dynamic with you and your mom?
Good question.
I think she just put the little extra fire, you know, on top of the fire that I already had.
You made him champion.
He made himself champion.
Huh.
I'm just proud of him because he's my son.
All right. So this interview was actually conducted 6 or 7 years ago, but the clips are now beginning to resurface. Now, there's another clip that surfaced recently of Terrance's dad commenting on the fight after the win. Let's take a look at that.
Terrance Crawford's father, it's got to be a very proud moment for you right now, what your son just accomplished. I set the world on fire. Can you give me your thoughts and your emotions? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just proud, you know, that he won. I'm proud of him, and I'm happy that he won.
Is there any surprise to you as to how he was able to perform, or you knew that?
I already knew he was going to beat Canelo Alvarez. I thought he was going to stop him in the 8th or 10th round.
Yes. Did you expect?
But I said if it goes past 10, it's going to go all the way. But he's going to win by unanimous.
Did you want more from Canelo, or is it just you knew your son was that good?
Oh, I knew my son was that good.
Yeah. Where does Canelo go from here?
I don't know, probably 170. 175.
170. Okay, last thing. Your son did. He won pretty clearly, but if there was a rematch on the table and the person switched,
Same thing would happen.
no, but the person switched, you guys will take it just to prove it wasn't a one-time thing, one-time performance, or because the money's right? How would you guys take a rematch?
That would be up to my son.
Yeah.
I can't answer that question.
All right, last thing. What do you tell all the Crawford fans, man? They're all happy. They've been backing your son, the true believers. What do you tell them? What do you tell the Crawford fans? Omaha, Nebraska.
Hey, thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
It's wild to watch the contrast of his father in present day proclaiming that he already knew that his son was that good, and then, to compare that to the clip from his mom a couple of years ago. Personally, I think Terrance is the GOAT. I think that he is better than Floyd Mayweather at his prime. And that's just not coming from me. Canelo admitted that as well.
In the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terrance "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
But I'm getting slightly off topic here. There was actually an interview on Piers Morgan's platform where Terrance Crawford had the opportunity, this is a couple of days ago, to speak about the relationship with his mother. Let's watch that.
You had an extraordinary situation where your mother, Deborah, she would beat you with a belt. You've talked about that. But she had also paid local kids in the neighborhood to try and fight you and to beat you. They failed. You used to deal with them, but it's a very unusual thing for a mother to do. Have you been able to get to the bottom of why she did that?
Well, I used to get whoopings because I was bad. It's a part of discipline. Ain't nothing wrong with disciplining your kids when they're not following directions, when they're not listening. I think we all need to discipline our kids. It's in the Bible to discipline your kids.
The thing of getting other kids to fight?
But that I think it was more so of a competitive nature in her, being that her brother was a boxer. My dad was a boxer. My dad's dad was a boxer. My uncles was boxers. So she comes from a boxing family. She grew up in the boxing gym. So me being a little bad kid running around, not listening, she'd be like, all right, let me see how good you is. I'm gonna pay this little kid, see if he can whoop you. Things like that. And I'll whoop him every time, so.
Well, you make it sound perfectly normal, but that's not normal.
And we call it the ghetto.
Right.
And the ghetto where I come from, it's normal to us. It may not be normal to you because you don't come from those type of beginnings. I can remember, if you didn't fight, when you go home, you get in trouble for not defending yourself. And if you did fight and your mom was there and you got whooped, then you go home and get another whooping. So you better not lose in front of your mom. So that's the times where I come from. Now you see kids and people don't fight no more. They shoot, stab, and pick up weapons. So it's not like the times where I grew up.
I'm gonna leave the content right there and then drop the question off to my audience. Do you guys agree or disagree with the parental style of his mother? Do you think Terrance would be the man that he is today to overcome the obstacles that he's overcome? I saw another interview where he said he got shot in the back of the head. But do you think that because of his difficulties in growing up and having a mother like that, if it was without that, he would not be boxing perfection as he is today? Let me know what you guys think down up in the comment box. I think that, and I've alluded to this, I've said this before, is that this era and the last era of sports athletes, right, it's going to be different. It's going to be forever changed because as we continue to sophisticate civilized society today, you're going to get a lot less stories like a Bud Crawford, right, that come from, not typical types of backgrounds. Right. Hopefully they'll be coming from a lot more stable backgrounds, family-oriented backgrounds, two-parent household backgrounds. But it's almost like when you overly plush or civilize a family or a society, right, there's some obvious benefits within that. But then do you have the opportunities to create dogs like this one, a Terrance Crawford, for example? Let me know what you guys think down up in the comment box. I think that Questions like this should make for great conversation, so I can't wait to see you guys' thoughts. So let's get active on them. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!